So what's up guys, this will be my guide, right? So let's just say, you're kind of a new player or maybe a returning player, you've never really been a member yet, or you don't really know how the new mechanics or things of the game work. So let's just say, I also recommend, by the way, you can check my free-to-play money-making guides because I already put some of those out. But with that being said, I'm going to walk to the first area right now as I talk. So the first thing, you'll probably be near the Grand Exchange. First thing I want to do is buy yourself an Amulet of Glory. It's only 13k, it's the best upgrade. The Grand Exchange is right over here, and this is where we're going to be going, right over here. So you can just follow along if you plan to do this method. Feel free, whatever. It's totally cool. But if you have around base 50 combat stats, like I recommend everybody gets beforehand, then this guide will be for you. So, use a rune scimitar if you're 40 attack, strength, whatever your stats are. Or if you just want to be range or a pure account, this will also work. If you're ranging these things, then you'll want a Dorgishan crossbow. And now this thing is 2,400 each. And the ammo or bolts it uses is bone bolts. Okay, so there's 6 each, but they hit really good for the price, and they're better than, I think, steel if you used a regular crossbow or something like that. I recommend you bring about 300 to 400, maybe even 1,000, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to say, but for this method we're going to be doing the Chaos Druids. Okay, now why Chaos Druids are so good is they're only level 13, but you can make easily over 100k per hour here, even with low stats, and they're automatically aggressive. Now remember, this is the wilderness, and this place is kind of a hot spot for PKers, so keep that stuff in mind. But this will be method 1, okay? They also drop mithril bolts, and they also drop mind runes. I don't really think you should pick those up though. You can pick the mithril bolts up, but basically your main things you want to go for are the grimy raynars, and any herb that's really above 1,000 coins each, I usually would say pick it up. There's 1,100 there. Let's see what we've already gotten from these. 1,800 coins already. So, but raynars are about 6 to 7k each. So, keep that in mind. Now, the next guide or the next method, I'm just gonna do this all in one take. So, you'll want your magic level. I have guides on magic as well, but so basically for magic, I recommend just doing Fire Strike to about, let me take a look here. So Fire Strike to level 43. Alright, Ogresses are great because you'll make a lot of profit. If you haven't seen my Ogresses guide yet, then just go on my channel and you'll see a free-to-play money-making guide where I discuss and talk about the Ogresses. So I also recommend you get level 15 mining and level 15 smithing for this, and this is just pure profit, okay? So, you can Fire Strike Ogresses technically all the way up to whatever, or you can do Superheat Item if you want smithing XP and mining as well on the side. So with that being said, Fire Strike to level 43, okay? This is just a pure, if you're just a brand new player, don't really know what you're doing kind of guide, okay? So keep that in mind. This is not the fastest ways to do things. This is the ways to do it for pure money and pure profit to ensure that you can keep up with your membership money or your bond, okay? So get yourself 15 mining and smithing. Mine iron ores, buy, a fire staff. Okay, there's our first raynar, by the way, that's 6k, so let's take a look again. So we've already made 11k, discounting the bones for 700 each, so you would have already made about 10k if you were doing this. Now, with that being said, you want a fire staff, and then you can technically take as many natures as you want for this method. Superheat item until 55, okay? When you hit 55, there's a website you can use called alchemate.com, okay? Or just Google Alchemate. I'm not totally sure if that's the actual website, but it's Alchemate. I'm certain of that part. I'm pretty sure it's .com. It'll show you all the prices of the alchemy items and everything that you can use. I also covered that in my free-to-play guide. So get yourself from 55, high alch, superheat, fire strike ogresses. Do whatever the heck you want until you get to that level. We're going to go with, let's see here, level 63. Alright, I personally recommend level 67, but you can start this method at level 63. So you'll need 3 cosmic runes, alright? So for a full inventory, you'll need 81 cosmic runes. Okay, so take 81 cosmic runes and a fire staff if you're going to be doing the fire orbs. And you bank at Edgeville, you'll need a stamina potion and an anti-poison, okay? You run same place through here past the black demons. These are the poison spiders, that's why you need your anti-poison. This guy can also hit quite hard. I also recommend you buy stamina potions, but you get your staff, you get unpowered orbs, 81 cosmic runes per inventory, and a fire staff. Right, unpowered orb, 113 each, 3 cosmic runes, and then you'll be making fire orb. So they're 1,250 each. This method will net you probably 3 to 500k GP per hour. I don't recommend AFKing it, though it is possible, but you might get PK'd. So I recommend then you do those until level 66. And then do air orbs. And the reason air orb, well, let me check the price for you guys quick. Fire orbs are 1250 each. Yeah, so the fire orbs are technically more each, but the thing about air orbs is you don't need anti-poisons, you don't have to run through this. And it's also more experience. So the profits are about the same, 3 to like 600k per hour, depends on how intense and focused you are. And the XP isn't exactly the best, but at that level it's pretty good. So then for the air orbs, you would run north, okay? Where is it? You need a air staff, 81 cosmic runes again, and then fill the rest of your inventory up with unpowered orbs, and then the place for the air orbs is right here. So basically all you do is you click the spell icon in the spell book and you click the spell on the air orbs, okay? And that's pretty much it. So the next method, like I said, we're going to just try and do this all in one take or one go. I'm going to try and get this out as quickly as possible because I'm sure that's all you guys want to see is the methods. Next method, you'll need Dragonslayer started. So you can either drink an anti-fire potion or so that you can wield the anti-dragonfire shield, okay? And then the next method you'll want to do is get that out and an anti-dragonfire shield. Okay, now this method is very risky, but it'll give you the most profit. So I also recommend the same thing, Dorgish crossbow, bone bolts. Do animal magnetism as soon as you can, because that quest will save you ammo or bolts. So if you don't have it, you'll be going through 1 bolt per hit or per attack. Whereas with the Ava's accumulator, you'll actually save 1 or 2 here and there. So then you'll take some food. You can get PK'd here. So make sure you take a glory amulet, because a glory amulet will allow you to teleport out past level 30 wilderness. So then just wear your best dragon hide. Make sure that your risk isn't that much, because you will get PK'd here at least once. So let's go ahead and teleport to the Corporal Beast. And this is where you'll be doing the green dragons. This is my personal recommendation that I've done. You can safe spot these. This is, in my opinion, the best place for them. There is another place, but it's multi-combat, so for low levels, I don't recommend it. But basically where the safe spot is, you will go right here. Okay, there's 2 safe spots. There's also plenty of other places you can do these, but this is where I've done it, and I think this is the best. So basically, if you're ranging these, you would stand right here or among this area behind the trees and hit this dragon. You could also safe spot this dragon from this area, but it's kind of tricky. If you want to safe spot this one, until your range is higher and you can do them fast enough, you'll just want to probably stick to 1 at a time. Then you can safe spot this one from this tree. And then you just do these green dragons over and over, and this will net you up to 800k per hour depending on your stats, but if your lower stats, you'll probably make about 3 to 500k. When you get to about 70-ish range, you'll notice that your profits will go up a lot. So you can start these at about 50 range, 55-ish, as long as you have full blue dragon hide, Dorgish crossbow. And I say that because you can use a range potion, so use a ranging potion for this. As well, it'll boost your range by like 9 or 10 or something to that effect. I'm not even sure. So then once you get a full inventory, or if you see a PK, or a white dot that, usually somebody that is a PK, they'll be in robes. They'll be in a set full of robes, and they'll have some kind of a staff. if they're pking. So if you see anybody like that in just robes and magic gear, then instantly teleport out. You know, you can set your hotkeys so that, you know, you'll get PK'd and it'll take a while to learn this method, but once you learn it, it'll work out really good for you. And most of the time you can either run away when you learn, you know, your hotkeys and your prayers properly. But for now, I'm not going to talk about that because that's a more kind of like advanced. So, you know, once you get to that point, you see somebody like that, you can just hit your hotkey, go over here as quickly as you can and click your teleport out. Now, because this is 24 wilderness, so I'll show you here. You can just teleport out with a glory amulet, bank, and then re-gear up. You know, get whatever food, whatever bolts you need, and make sure that you always have games necklaces and amulet of glory. There's also a thing called a looting bag, which while you're in the wilderness will hold 28 slots. So you'll basically have 2 full inventories, but I don't recommend doing that until you're more comfortable with these methods and until you you know, you can get good with your hotkey switches and getting away and things like that. So I don't recommend the looting bag until you're much higher range and much more comfortable at teleporting away, because, you know, it's very upsetting and aggravating if you have a full inventory in a looting bag, because whatever is in the looting bag, when you die in the wilderness, you will lose it 100% of the time. So keep that in mind. The looting bag has no use outside the wilderness. So I don't recommend using that until you're more comfortable with it. But once you're more comfortable with it, feel free. But I'm not going to get in depth with that because this is just a beginner guide. So if these methods have helped you out, then like and subscribe to my channel because that'll help me out. I guess we can also cover one more method, which is farming. So I'll just run down farming really quick. You know, it's really basic. I'm just going to cover the basic steps of farming while I'm here for you guys. So you'll need a rake, some compost. You can buy all this off the Grand Exchange. You'll need a rake, some compost, a seed dibber, and a spade, right? So it'll tell you everything you need. So level 1, you can only plant potatoes. You know, so you'll need potato seeds and then get like 20 compost or whatever. So basically, when you click on the farming tab like this, it'll show you this. This is your allotments, which are these right here. So you can plant the potatoes in the allotment patches, and I'll show you where all the other patches are in a sec. So you pay this gardener right here, and then, you know, you can pay her for the north and south, and then when you pay her, whatever that says to the right, so let's say you were doing onions, you would need 10 potatoes. Okay, so you'd buy potatoes rather than compost. But you always want to use compost. Ultra compost when you get up to the herbs is the absolute best. So when you plant limpworts and herbs, always use ultra compost. As long as you're about level 26, that's when you can make some money. So just do whatever until level 26. You can't pay them for the limpworts, aka the... Is that a bush? No, it's a flower patch. So you can't pay them for the flower patches or the herbs. So they can die. You can check up on them. You can, if you do your farming trip, you know, they'll tell you, you know, it'll say it's diseased, and you can use plant cure on the bush or whatever is dead, and it'll regrow, or like it will take away the disease. And if you don't catch it in time, then the herb or whatever you planted will just die. But if you pay the gardeners for the north and south patches, they can't ever die no matter what. They watch after it for you. So the other patches, I'll show you them right now, right? So for now, you'll only be able to do the basic ones. I'm not going to get into the in-depth ones because you won't have the requirements to do them. So this is the second one. So this is where the first one is. It's at Catherby right here, okay? So Catherby, you can teleport there if you're 45 magic to Camelot, which is where we went. You run over there, down. The next one is over here. You can just walk there or teleport to Ardoin, but that's also quest locked. You need to do, I believe, Plague City to finish that quest, or one of those quests, so you won't be able to do that right away. So you'll most likely want to just run over to this one. And then there's another one in Yanil. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, no, there's not in Yanil. I'm sorry. It's Falador. So the other one in Falador will be over here. Right there. So there's where the teleport will take you. You run over here, down over here, and then over to there. Excess levels when you can do Raynars, which is I believe level 32. Yeah, level 32 with Raynar weeds will net you approximately, if you buy the seeds and ultra compost, Raynar seeds, ultra compost yourself, you can make some good profits, 50 to 100k per harvest of all of those patches, provided you plant one in every one of those patches. So, you know, it's what you call passive income. So that's pretty much the basic methods. I don't recommend doing Slayer until your combat's higher, because you really won't make any money doing Slayer, and that's a big mistake that a lot of people make when they hear other people say things like that. Don't start Slayer until you're like base 70s. That's my recommendation. Just grind green dragons or whatever. Make sure it's more important to ensure that you get your bond money for your membership rather than Slayer or other levels for now. So just do those methods I've said above until you have a decent cash stack. And then if you have extra money or you can afford 2 bonds, then you want to do Slayer, then go ahead and do Slayer. I recommend Wilderness Slayer for money, because that's the best way until 75 combat, and then you'll do Konar Slayer. And then to get to the Wilderness Slayer Master, you go to Edgeville, where we were just at before when we walked to the Chaos Druids. And the Slayer Master is right there. Although you might need a little bit higher Slayer ahead of time. No, you don't. You can do it at level 1. Okay, so, you know, that's my recommendation. You can get Mysterious Emblems and other keys. So if you want money and you want to do Slayer, in the back of your head, if you have to do Slayer and it's something you really want to do, then do Wilderness Slayer. So other than that, I don't really recommend doing skilling, aka mining, fishing, woodcutting, just farming. And I say that you can try rune crafting, but it'll take a while, so it's kind of recommended against, because it's more of an advanced skill in terms of time and patience and all that. You can make good money at later levels in mining and woodcutting, but this is a guide to help you, and if I'm being straightforward, you'll make a lot more with combat than skilling, especially for the time that it would take you to get rune ores and things like that. So I recommend just doing those combat methods. If you have any other questions or whatever, you can always add me in game or leave a comment on my YouTube. So please like and subscribe the video if this helps, and share with all your friends who are also struggling for this or wondering what to do when they get their first membership. And hope this guide helped you guys out.